Okay, so we have the problem where we have 3 pears and 8 clementines, and then we take away 1 pear, and we are left with a ratio of 1 to 3. So the first way I'm going to show this is I just set up my proportion as a fraction. So for every 3 pears, which I made green to represent our pears, I have 8 clementines. So because a proportion is also a fraction, the rules for fractions also apply, meaning that I can create equivalent fractions by multiplying. So I'm going to start by doubling each of my proportions. So instead of having 3 pears and 8 clementines, if I double that proportion, 3 times 2 is 6. I can have 6 pears, so I'll change this to green again. And then 8 times 2 is 16. So my new proportion is 6 to 16. So 6 pears for every 16 clementines. Then our problem says we take away 1 pear. So if I'm starting with 6 pears and I go down to 5 pears, that means my new proportion is 5 to 16. 5/16 does not simplify, so that's not going to work for my answer. So I'm going to go back to square one. So again, I'm starting with 3 pears for every 8 clementines. First time I multiplied by 2, now I'm going to multiply by 3. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 3, so I have 9 pears. And then I'm going to multiply 8 times 3, which means that I have, whoopsies, I have 24 clementines. I have to make this orange. There we go. Again, I'm taking away one of my pears, so that goes down to 8. So now I have 8 over 24. That does, in fact, simplify. If we divide both of our numerator and fractions by 8, 8 divided by 8 is 1. 24 divided by 8 is 3, and so that gives us our proportion of 1/3. So we must have had a ratio of 8 to 24. So that means I started with 9 pears and 24 clementines. The next way you can do this is just by drawing a picture. So I have 3 pears for 8 clementines. Again, I'm going to start by doubling this. So I'm going to double my amount of pears, and I'm going to double my amount of clementines. If I take one of my pears away, I'm left with a ratio of 5 pears to 16 clementines, which does not simplify, so that's not going to work. So I am going to now triple what I started with. Take away my 1 pear. I now have 8 pears for 24 clementines. That does simplify again to 1/3. So my final answer is I must have had 9 pears and 24 clementines.